Hello, everybody. Today, we are going to be talking about endurance, perseverance, steadfastness, and how do we practically endure during the tough seasons of our life. I'm Liam Clark, joined with my host, Amber Clark, and this is the In Everything podcast. Hello, everybody. Amber, what do we have for the nice people?
We're going to be talking about perseverance, also known as steadfastness. Maybe you might also hear it as endurance. So we've talked about the things that are foundational in your relationship in Jesus. So you have faith, you have goodness, you have knowledge, and then how to kind of practically live that out in the world. So last week we talked about self-control, and then this week we're going to be talking about perseverance, which, yeah, we need perseverance. I need perseverance.
I know I need perseverance. Even just recording this podcast.
Tell the people.
I'm on the struggle bus, man. Endurance is good, especially when your recording software and your camera doesn't want to work with you, and you have to try to record a pithy intro that like times up with the sick new intro music. But I feel like, this is on a...
That is on
I'm just
such
a baby. I'm just an absolute
level.
baby. Yeah.
Your recording software doesn't work, and it's like...
I'm like, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry if my software doesn't work. I need endurance.
Liam, you can maybe give us, background. What is perseverance?
I think first of all, steadfastness, endurance is a frame of mind. Like, you have to actually tell yourself, I am going to endure, but not from like a place of like kind of how we were talking about last week of just sheer willpower.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you're not just pulling yourself up by your bootstraps.
No, I don't think we're able to.
No, absolutely not.
And that's why enduring without Jesus, enduring without the Holy Spirit, it's miserable.
What's the point?
It's misery. Yeah, it's just a slow burn. You're just like waking up. And you have to find some sort of reason to just not end it all.
But then, like...
You know what I mean?
It's so maybe for some people, like, that's family, right?
Yeah.
But that will one day end. You know what I mean? And I think we were talking about this a little bit last night. It's so cool because it's like, for the Christian, our ultimate hope is in Jesus. And that we get to be with him one day for eternity. And so whether your life is not great, or whether you're living a comfortable life, either way, it's like our ultimate hope is in heaven. So it's like, if you wake up as a non-believer and you're like, my family, I'm going to do this for my family. My family's going to be, but your family's one day going to go.
Right. Yes, exactly. And, it's tricky because even something like your family is temporal.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a good thing.
And it is, like you said, it's not going to last forever. And ultimately, if you are living for something even seemingly as noble as your family, it is going to let you down eventually. And there are going to be times in some people's lives where they deem it not worth it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
so there needs to be something greater than what exists in this temporal universe.
Right.
It needs to be something that transcends all of it. Right? And that's why, like we were talking about last week, is that like this idea of self-control. Normally when people go into like AA or some sort of like rehab, one of the first things that they'll tell the person to do is find a higher power, because it is almost impossible to derive meaning from anything that is just here and now.
Sure.
Even your family, even your job or your career, things that people, some sort of noble pursuit, like, charity or something like that. These are all good things, right? But they are not the ultimate thing. And so when you're trying to say, I'm going to be steadfast for the sake of fill in the blank, ultimately, depending on that, only works as long as your like your motivation to serve that thing is greater than the opposition that you're facing against it.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, the second that I can provide for my family, right? And I can, contribute to a noble cause, but and I can feel very, very motivated towards that, right? But the second that the trial and the opposition that comes my way is stronger than my motivation to pursue my family or pursue that noble cause, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It needs to, your ability to be steadfast and endure something needs to transcend your motivation.
It needs to be rooted in Jesus.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and so one of the points that I had, just kind of shifting gears here, because we can go through our notes and stuff. I loved how just a simple reminder that ultimately, like, God is the one who is in control of all things.
Mm-hmm.
So his first point was God is in control of all things and works together for your good. And so I've been going through kind of, I wouldn't call it quite a devotional. I guess it kind of is. It's like a little mini thing. And I to just read it in the morning just to kind of get me going. And one of the main themes for this month has been heaven rules. And so basically that's basically the concept is that like God ultimately is in control. And we are not.
Heaven rules.
Heaven rules.
I like to imagine that, like, the angels in heaven have, like, big number one, like, foam fingers. And
I
they're
saw
like,
you smiling. I was like, why are you smiling?
Woo! They're like, heaven rules, man. Heaven rules. Yeah, sorry.
No.
They've got, like, their vuvuzelas, like, that you see, like soccer fans have. They're like,
that's
sorry.
funny.
That was a tangent, but
That
yeah.
is a tangent.
Go ahead.
No, but yeah, it's just, the point is that it's like when we feel like we are in control or like we have to maintain control, then that's when we get frustrated, right? Because if I plan out my day and I'm like, it's going to go just like this, right? And then one thing is off, right? Then I get frustrated. And so, like, if I'm at work, right? And if I'm like, I'm going to eat my lunch by myself, it's going to be my relaxing period. And then I love my students, but if they're like, I need to come in and work on something, if I was planning on eating by myself and suddenly a student needs help, I'm like, and then I'm like, no, this is what I'm here to do.
You can.
Right, exactly. Like, if it's been a hard day and I just want that break, but that's my job, then I lose control in a sense and I get frustrated. So if I just go into every day like flexible, being like, all right, Lord, show me who you want me to love, help me to love them well, and be like, help me to maybe have kind of a structure, but be willing and be ready for God to be like, that's not exactly how I planned this day to go. And so when it does get changed, when, for me, in my example, when that student does need to come into lunch, say, okay, God, awesome. You want them to be loved today. You want this to be an opportunity. Awesome. And then I can do it with joy. You know what I mean? That was a really specific example to like my scenario, but
no, I think that's blessed are the flexible, for they bend and don't break. Right. Yeah. That's how that is a super huge. And personally, I find being flexible is one of the most helpful tools that a person can have in enduring.